In today's video, I am going to be revealing the secret triggers that turn women on instantly. And no, this has nothing to do with you flaunting your status, how much money you make, or leading with your looks alone. These are all surface level things that don't actually create that deeper concrete desire that keeps her coming back for more. And more importantly, her being able to perceive you in a way that is respected and not someone she's using or can manipulate. That's the thing that a lot of men get wrong. When you lead with material things, you're showing a woman where you place your value. But when you can place your value in how you treat yourself, and when a man can lead a woman with integrity that speaks louder than words, that's when you actually get her hooked and you create safety and compatibility that really ignites that woman's turn on because she's seeing you for the man you are and not one that you're trying to be, this perfect persona of a man that other men tell you to be like. Scratch that, because we are going to get into the basics you need to know that will play a huge part in how women perceive you in the utmost respectful way possible, because that's how you're leading. So let's get into today's video. The number one turn on that I don't see a lot of men really understanding the impact that can be had on a woman when you actually are leading with being a gentleman. And being a gentleman has nothing to do with you being a people pleaser and a nice guy. I think that's one thing that a lot of other men get confused. You being a good, genuine human being and leading with that has a lot more profound effect than you leading with this persona or this ego that is inflated just so you can prove your worth to a woman. If a woman is really interested in you, she doesn't care about the material things in your life that make you feel as a man. What she wants to see is how you lead with action and how that traces back to how you yourself put more care into how you treat other people than how you feel like people should perceive you. If you want to get into a woman's heart and more so her turn on, make her feel like a woman. A woman doesn't want to have to be masculine on dates. She doesn't want to take initiative by opening doors or paying for the first meal. These are subtle actions that play a huge part within her initial attraction for you, and actually, more importantly, how she perceives you being the man in her life rather than just an acquaintance that she's going on a date with. There has to be a level of contrast, of polarity, especially when a man is fully embodied and confident in his masculine energy. And when you lead with that, you're not a fragile man. You see, a lot of people that have to put on this persona of this kind of alternate ego of a man that leads with what I have rather than who I am. See, leading with who I am is giving that woman an opportunity to actually see you. And that's something we all want, especially like while we're dating a person. We want to get to know them. So the more you drop the games, the more you drop the dating 101 tactics that other people teach you, and the more you embody your own genuine energy and act in a way of purpose. You being on that date holds a purpose. So when you open that door for a woman, what are you saying? You're showing that woman that she is important. And more importantly, in those moments, she's perceiving you as a strong man. A man who does this without thinking is a man that is hardwired to be able to receive feminine love. And I think at the end of the day, we as human beings, men and women, are instantly attracted to our opposites. So the more feminine you're acting or the more hyper masculine you're acting, she can sniff out the insecurities that are actually leading the interaction rather than the genuine aura that you're radiating outwards. Even as simple as after a date, you're on a walk and maybe she's cold, giving her your jacket. The old-fashioned ways of love are not outdated. They're rare, but they're rare because people aren't teaching men this anymore. Instead, we're teaching them how to manipulate to get things that you want. Drop the act of performance on dates. Start embodying the very man that you would be proud of if your daughter went on a date with him. Get back into integrity. And when a man holds that with care, she will not only feel safe within your presence, There will be an intense level of attraction because these small expressions of your masculinity, these are opportunities that are allowing her to step into her femininity. And the femininity within a woman is where her turn on lies. The second way to turn a woman on is actually how you command a moment. And doing this not with force, but with conviction beneath your action, why you're doing these things in the first place. And for a man to lead without force, rather being receptive to what the moment has in store. And that could be playing into the chemistry that has been created through conversation or the hand holding and taking the initiative to perhaps lean in for a kiss. But before you do this, you can ask for permission, but sometimes a woman signaling towards a man is already giving it away. If she's feeling really comfortable in your presence, you guys are already holding hands, you guys are hugging, there's flirtation, there's chemistry, the energy is mutual, then you allowing that moment to be profound in the ways of how you handle it, how you go about it. It's not forceful, like I said, it's gentle. It's taking in the moment as if it was a delicacy. And I feel like for a man to understand the gentle approach that you can offer a woman within how you treat her has everything to do with her feeling safe, like I said, in the presence of who you are, that will naturally create that turn on. If a woman does not feel safe, there is zero possibility for there to be turn on. So the more that you can lead even a kiss at the end of the date and holding her by her face gently, and going in for that romantic moment and creating a romantic moment out of it. That is going to be a profound experience that is not only remembered, but felt in her body, even after the date ends, after the kiss. She's going to replay that moment again and again if she wants to feel that energy pulse through her veins as if that moment was on repeat. Things like this that are subtle, gentle, but like I said, command a moment. That is what is important. And all women love this, I swear. You can grab her face gently, look her in the eyes, kiss her, pull back, allow her to be within that moment. Instead of, forcing yourself on her and maybe prolonging the kiss, you want to see how she feels after that. And within that emotion that has been created between you guys coming together, that is where that turn on lies. Number 3 has everything to do with the placement of touch. You may have heard this, but women find it very attractive when a man is, let's say, driving and you're putting your hand on her thigh. It signifies, like I said, a polarity with an energy. The man's leading, the man's driving, and the woman is receptive to his guidance. And you even just subtly placing your hand on her thigh creates this magnetic turn on that is felt on an energetic level, of course, but also what that moment shows for. It shows you taking lead. Well, she's actually in a place of surrender. And it's also you signaling to her, I desire you. I'm here for you. Your hand on her leg is really showing her that I'm here. And I think that's really important for a woman. Before you guys just jump right into the bed, it's the micro moments that lead to something much bigger than just an orgasm after sex. These moments of turn on actually matter more to a woman than you may think. It's your ability to show through action that you're there, that you care, that you desire her. And it's not forcing a moment entirely to get to a certain outcome. Let's say getting home and getting into the bedroom and doing the deed. And for that high of energy to just drop immediately after. It's a slow burn. It's built through repetition. And that's why I really, really do think that a man who can hold off from just jumping in the bedroom with a woman and to almost allow that chemistry to marinate within your body and her body, for it to be longer lived than for it just to go up and down. And I think that's where a lot of men get it wrong. You want to take it slow. You want to be playful. You want to use your charisma, your charm, but you don't want to do that just for the intention of getting her in the bedroom. If that's your intention, then you're going to reek of desperation and the energy that's even guiding those actions to begin with. So have a clear head, have self-control, show care, show presence, and more importantly, embody the characteristics of what makes a man a man. Take lead, take initiative, be protective, and show gentle care. And trust me, this will make a woman far more turned on than you paying the bill and telling her she's pretty. It's the micro moments that add up to something much larger. So to wrap this video up about what really creates that deeper, intimate turn on that is remembered, felt, and more so absorbed into her being rather than something that's just on and off. Because a woman's turn on doesn't have to be looked at as a switch on and off. When a true man comes into a woman's life and shows these patterns of action, it creates harmony, trust, and dependability on the type of man you are, which ultimately creates safety. And within safety, there's more room to explore and more room to actually create those moments of higher highs rather than getting there, but then it just kind of going down from that point. Build on the energy that is created through flirtation, attraction, and chemistry. Take your time, take it slow. And like I said, lead with the masculine qualities that embody that old school gentleman energy. And when you do this, you will be a man she remembers because you've actually allowed her to feel something in your presence that she's never felt before. And also, if you guys are wanting any further one-on-one assistance with me, I do offer coaching services. So I will link my email down below and I would love to hear from you. If you guys liked today's video and it gave you a new edge, please let me know in the comments down below. If you liked today's video, give this video a like, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, I will see you in my next one. Bye.